Are you ready? Here we go. Oh, and I would like to apologize for missing out last week. Vacation, party time, had a blast. Got me a lum plush. I'm happy. So, slow, quick, slow, quick, slow. A group of girls practiced perfectly syncopated moves in the service hallway at Los Angeles County Museum of Art. Outside of the rest, the girls went through their paces. It was a testament to their training and their disciplines that even 30 minutes later, they managed to work out near perfect coordination between them. Countdown, it's getting to fight time. Night stars are shining in my eyes. Ma says I'm going to be the first one to dance to the bebop in the skies.
Cut!
All the girls stopped and looked at the colored-faced guy with shaggy silver and black hair and ponytail, wearing glasses over red eyes. You missed your cue, Pinky, the camera angle told her. You need to be a second faster. The rear wheel of my right foot is sticky. It's ain't hard to hands off, Pinky said. It's going to have to be worked on. Cameron nodded. I'll have Woodrow work on that. He turned to Rose, who was standing by him. Can you get quick change to get the next set? All of it, she said, running off. Standing aside, back in her normal clothing for a moment, Sunset and the rest watched as the group that Pinky had dubbed Operation Dance Magic went through their paces. It's coming along pretty fast, Midnight said. Honestly, I was worried. Yeah, why worry? We're all here, and when I'm here, everything's gonna run like clockwork, Remo said proudly. Says the girl who ruined Forsyth's pantyhose, Forsyth said, teasing her old friend. Hey, I'm not the formal type, okay? Besides, Sora doesn't complain about me being in or out of pantyhose. TMI, Rainbow, RTV told her. Wait, it didn't come out right, did it? Please tell me you at least have protection, Fly said under her breath. Rainbow muttered something.
What are you doing?
The air shot across from the room. Wonder what's going on, Midnight asked. Probably should check it out, Sunset insisted, and the two went over to look. They found Lyra angrily glaring at some other girl, anger seeing in Lyra's citrine eyes. You should have more respect for the instruments, she snarled. Like, I don't know what your problem is, the other girl said in a valid girl accent. It's just a fucking okay? Don't freak out or anything. Freak out? It's a liar. Do you even know what that is? Lyra hissed. It's like a heart, right? And look, I'm just an actress, okay? I'm supposed to just pretend how to play the damn thing. I don't actually know how to play, okay? The girls then saw Sunset and Midnight approaching. Hey, will someone get this freak stick lesbian out of here? She's like totally making me uncomfortable. Well, one, the freak stick lesbian is actually a lesbian. So I appreciate you not being insulting, Sunset told the girl. Secondly, she's a friend of mine, so I really appreciate you not being insulting. She looked at Lyra. What's up? This Ben Bed here is abusing a liar. Lyra ripped it out of the girl's hands. So who cares what it is? And I was actually using it normally, okay? Plugging the strings and all that. Lyra groaned. This is a yoke-loot liar. So, it has a weaker bridge than a Scottish or Saxon lyre, so it's not meant to be plucked. Lyra snarled at the girl, then pulled out her keys. On the one end of them was a tuning key, which she inserted to the bottom of the lyre in order to tighten the strings. You're supposed to play it like this. She then fiddled with the tuning bolts for a few seconds before playing a short tune on it. Strings are beat, but it's salvageable, Lyra muttered. Still doesn't give you the justification to treat it like an air guitar. You know how to play a lyre? Midnight asked. Lyra nodded. I can play just about any string instrument, though I mainly work with a guitar. Why? Midnight then looked at the other girl. And you were hired to play the harpist? Well, yeah, because I'm totally hot and all that. So really even said so. Yeah, well, unfortunately for you, she's no longer the director. So as of now, you're an extra. She looked at Lyra. Would you mind playing the video? You can play whatever. We overdub during the opening parts of the song, but I'd rather a professional musician handle an instrument with care. Yeah, sure, no problem, Lyra said with a smile. You can do that. I'm gonna go talk with the director. Kim and I just fought Sylvia a minute ago, and the new guy works for me. He's going to side with me, Midnight told her. If you're going to get paid for this gig, I highly suggest you shut up at this point and just look pretty for the camera, or else I'm going to fire you. Got that? The girl looked angrily at Midnight, but said nothing further, choosing to stomp off. Don't worry, Midnight told Lyra. I'll find out how much she was paid and make sure you're paid the same for it. I wasn't doing this for pay, Lyra told her, but thanks. And Sunset and Midnight walked back towards where the others were practicing. The former said, Thanks for that, Midge. You didn't have to do that. Oh, yes, I did. The pop star told her, Your friend's clearly a true professional, given that she cared about the instrument even though it's just a prop. Trust me, I've seen plenty of so-called musicians who don't really care. If I give them a hands up, then that's what I'll do. Besides, I owe you for saving my bacon, Sonny. At least I could do is pay you for it. Well, I really appreciate that. Meanwhile, Hi, Twice said quietly, pausing before Raspberry's grave. The brief flurries of snow had stopped, but the area was now dusted with white, giving everything a ghostly cast. Perhaps it was appropriate. I feel guilty, Twice told the gravestone. It was partially my plan that got you killed, Raz, and it's my fault. We lost countless lives. We lost you. And now, if I don't find a way to prove that Sunset's home dimension is still there, we might lose Celestia as well. I don't think what will happen then. Twice sighed. But it doesn't mean you're forgotten. Your parents, they're hurting right now, but they're taking it day by day. Your whole adopted family came for both the funeral and dedication to your statue. They're proud to be related to you, Raz. I know your natural family doesn't know you, and you don't know them, but your adopted family loved you like no other. She sat down by the grave. Did you know they want to name Lonesome Dove after you? When the townsfolk found out what happened to you, Sadie Tremaine petitioned to have the town renamed Raspberry Heaven in your honor. I told her to think about it for a bit, think about what you would want. I know you weren't fond of things like that, but it seems right. When the petition comes back, I'm going to allow it. You deserve the honor. You deserve much more than you got in life. Tears filled the Alicorn's eyes. I blew it and I'm still here. I didn't fight hard enough to protect the innocent, and so many died. Raz, most of all you. Our friends are all here, but you're not. Your parents don't blame me for what happened, but I blame myself. I don't feel like I do anything right anymore. Tears filled her eyes. Maybe if Sunset was still alive out there, maybe everything I'm doing won't have been in vain. Maybe then I could feel like I'm worthy of my crown and title. Maybe I could forgive myself for letting you die. You didn't feel her, Princess. Twilight turned to see both Ascot and Casimir standing there, looking at the princess with sorrowful eyes. We never blamed you for what happened. Why not? It was my order that... It was a monster that destroyed our homes and threatened to kill all pony kind, Ascot told her. My daughter did her duty to protect ponies, as did you. Yes, we heard that she's gone, but she did everything she could to save it for all of us. Wow. This is so much better than comics. They're actually blaming the monster and not the hero. I applaud. As a parent, that means more to me than the salute you could all put up for her. Casimir added, we weren't in her life for all of it, but little we were her parents and she was our foal. It was more than enough for all of us. I couldn't be prouder. Ascot walked over and over a hug to Twilight. So young as a princess, and too young to have endured the pain in his life. We wouldn't want that for our daughter, and we wouldn't want it for you, either. Ascot looked at Raspberry's grave, as he wouldn't want that for you at all, Princess. Be proud. You and your friends saved us. I'm proud of that, and all as of all ponykind, I know is our daughter. Twilight bawled, begging forgiveness while Ascot and Casimir embraced her, telling her it was okay. Standing a distance away, Luna watched with a melancholy heart. Thank you for bringing this to my attention, ladies, she told the other bears. Even though the crisis has kept me busy, I am not so engaged I will let Twilight suffer so. This has been hard on all of us, and will not get easier any time soon, I'm afraid. Are things that bad, Luna? Ambled that gangster. Celestia's in a deep depression, and the sun weeps for her. The weather patterns of the Everfree are starting to appear everywhere, and it's overwhelming the weather teams across the nation. There was a naturally occurring tornado for the first time in centuries just outside of Oklahoma 2 days ago. Rainbow looked at her with surprise. What? That's impossible? The Night Unicorn cut in. Never saw it. It happened, with dozens of homes that were destroyed, farmland ruined, but thankfully no pony was injured. Only a matter of time until something happens. Is there anything we can do? Rarity asked. Keep her company. Let her know she is loved. Twilight, as you well know, has a propensity for pushing herself to her limits. In order to save the world, she may have to push herself a little farther. She may be the only chance to find my niece. Your niece? Sunset sure? Yes, because I feel at this point, whether she was his or not, Sunset is key to saving her mother and our world. Raspberry Brown stood in a beautiful dress with makeup and mascara, a hat and dressed to the nines, as Local Rarity had said. Truth be told, she kind of liked the outfit. She understood it was human form of wear, and when she found out it was clothing from nearly a century ago, she was surprised. Attire like this was something similar to what Rarity had usually associated with the designed. Furthermore, while everyone else was getting ready, she had a chance to walk around and look at some of the human artwork on display. It was ironic. Given her entry into this world, she come in the museum, pinnacle of human culture, and not seeing what it held because of the urgency of the situation. Now she was trapped here with the possibility of never going home again, and now she had all the time to see what human culture entailed. She found out it was beautiful, far more than she expected. In a moment, she was gazing at a finely detailed drawing of Retrato de Princesa en su Tele by an artist called Grafica Papilla. She could almost feel the tension of the man in the portrait, and spoke to her in jumbled feelings in a moment. I just read up on that picture, Sunset told her. Postado was a shopkeeper in Mexico City, where Poplar was an artist. The man, well, both men actually, were dreamers, always with their eyes on the horizon. That's why Poplar decided to do a drawing of the man, so his view would forever stretch beyond the confines of the horizon he knew. This is what you meant by human being, isn't it? Raspberry asked. Sunset, never taking her eyes off the picture. Part of it. There's other. You've been to Disneyland, and even though that's a pop culture example, it's just that my adopted species isn't all about war. There's more, Raz. So much more. And if you're stuck here, and again, I'm going to do my best to make sure you're not, you have a lifetime to find out about that. I don't really want to, Raspberry said, but if I don't have a choice, you'll be here? We'll be here. Twilight approached and stopped behind her sister. You won't be alone, Raz. As you guess, my family is big on, well, family, and you're a part of that now. We will back you, no matter what your plans are. Thanks. Guess if I had to stay here, I'll have someone to care about me. You will, Raz, you will. So what's up, sis? Sunset asked Twilight. Keen to get you both. They're going to be starting the test runs before the actual filming, so we need to get back. Sunset nodded. Okay. You ready, Raz? Yeah, I'll be there shortly. Raspberry watched as her friends walked off, then moved across the empty room towards another line drawing, one that was by an artist named Ocho Enfracato, who was a student of Grafica Papilla. In it, she could see a picture of a winged girl screaming in pain and sorrow. Well, that wasn't what caught her attention. It was that girl, presented as naked in the image, had a strange marking on her side, what looked like to be a star and a thunderbolt. It looked like a cutie mark. Enraptured by her discovery, Raspberry looked at the plaque next to the image. Tragedy of the Pegasus. La Tragica de la Pegasa. Ocho Enfracato. Mexico City, Mexico. 1931 to 1976. Mexico, 1962. Prince, Laconis. Linoleum cut. 35 by 22.5 inches. 88.9 by 57.15 centimeters. Gift of Dr. Ozenfront and Mrs. Oaktree. Statement 88.61. Career notes.
This cut, one of Avocado's few subjects that did not deal with Mexican politics, is based on a story that his grandmother told him during his childhood. His grandmother, Furelo Estrella, birth unknown, condemned 1936, had told him many tales that he'd grown up with, but the one he recalled the most was her claim that he was originally not human, and that she had been born of Pegasus from another world, and she somehow been transported to ours. That, unable to find a way back home or even back into her native form, nursed back to health by his grandfather, and they fell in love. With Soraya Estrella unable to return to her home, she married Ricardo's grandfather and started a family with him. This artwork depicts a scene from her story, in particular the part where she crossed the earth and became human. Notice the strange tattoo on her side, something she claimed was called a Linda Maca, roughly beautiful marking, that was native to her kind, a sort of branding natural to Pegasi. In his memoirs, Ricardo said that although he never believed it to be a true story, his grandmother did, and that was enough for him. Tears streaming Raspberry's face, he whispered, "You're just like me. You were never able to get home again. You're just like me." No longer able to look at the artwork and what it might have ordained, Raspberry ran from the room crying. Thankfully, the first person she ran into was Sonata, who was taking a break just before they started the routine. She was wearing silvery shirt shorts, a tube top, excessive makeup, and her hair was down long over her shoulder. "Raz, you okay?" Still, the former unicorn explained. Sonata hugged her. "It's okay. I know how you feel. Even though you have people who love you, you can turn to. In the end, you can still feel completely alone." Raspberry looked at her with surprise. "How?" Sonata sadly chuckled. "Easy. I'm not as pretty as Dazzy or easygoing as Ari. I don't have Twilight's intelligence or Tabby's sophistication. I'm certainly not like Sunny in any way. All my friends outclass me in some way or another. If it wasn't for my engineering skills, I would be hiding everything. And sometimes it makes me feel like I'm by myself, and I hold others back. But you don't. You do. It's obvious. Maybe you're top of your game as a unicorn, but you're right behind the curveball human form. Your only example is Sunny, who's been here for half a decade and is completely gone native. You're afraid you're never gonna fit in, and that's gonna hurt you forever. I know you don't even want to be here, but you're afraid you'll be stuck like that Pegasus woman." "I'm afraid, Sonny. I'm always afraid now. Back home, I knew my purpose and my friends. I knew what I had to do and what I was going to do in life. Sure, I wasn't perfect, but at the end of the day, I knew who I was and what I did. I was nobility, an archmagus, and part of the core of friendship. Here, I don't know what I am." "I know what you are," Sonata told her. "You're my friend. You're brave, strong, magical, and even if you're not as ideal as you used to be, so what? You can just build over." "Easy for you to say. I've been on the run for all my life." "In a time that doesn't exist anymore. I was trained to kill since childhood. I could have died unmourned, unloved, and even unrecognized by my government. They didn't care about us. They only cared about Siren, and even now this new life hasn't all been sunshine and roses for me either. I'm not telling you to buck up like Rainbow would, or get in touch with your feelings like Flyers would. I'm saying that even though you feel low, you're not. You have me. You have all of us. You even never make it back home. Don't think you won't have one here. Promise?" Sonata hugged again. "It should be obvious now, right?" The two stayed like that for a while before Sonata said, "We gotta get back. Can you fix up your makeup?" "Sure thing," Raspberry said, calling her magic. The magic she now had as a human was becoming a part of her. "Will Sunday banish my curse?" she wondered. Meanwhile, so that's the last of my things, Celestia says she wiped her brow, carrying the box of what used to be her office. "You should have a plaque ordered as soon as you can, Principal Luna." Luna looked at her sister oddly. "Sis, you're still principal here." "Only a name during this transition year," Celestia assured her. "I'll still be here, but I'm taking on more superintendent duties while we do this transition. Have you given a thought as to who will be your vice principal?" Luna chuckled. "Actually, Abby was the first to come to mind.
Are you out of your goddamn mind? Both women turned to see Abacus's sins walking towards them, carrying one of the last boxes of Celestia's old office.
If I wanted to slowly lose my mind, I'd go to work in the civilian sector.
The three women laughed heartily. Thanks for giving us a hand, Abby, Celestia told her friend. I know you've been busy.
Well, we haven't seen each other in a while, and I figured now would be a good time,
Sid said.
Besides, Buck and I are heading out on a date tonight, and I told her I'd meet her there.
I didn't know you both were dating, Celestia nodded.
Sid nodded. We met at a sporting conference. I managed the junior high girls basketball team at my school, so they went off. We bumped into each other, literally, and ended up with coffee all over a stark white shirt. And I hadn't been wearing a bra that day.
She said, well, bless.
Plus, he was a gentleman and offered me the hoodie he had brought with him. Push came to shove, and we had dinner to make up for it. Have I mentioned he's great in bed?
She came to awake as she took a drink from a water bottle. Didn't know that, both Celestia and Luna said at the same time.
Seriously though, as long as I am new, I love myself too much to leave, Sid told her. Anyone else you have given thought to?
Well, there's extra credit over at Greengrass Junior High.
Wouldn't recommend it. She's going through a very nasty divorce right now, and she's bit off kilter.
Finn sufficed to place Luna, Celestia. From what I know, she's doing a great job where she is. But taking on a whole new load might fry the circuitry there. What about report card?
Card? Sid laughed. Wouldn't do it. I know for a fact that he's a functional alcoholic. The only reason he hasn't been fired yet is because he's great at spotting kids. But I would not put him in position of seniority at all. What about red ink?
She lives up to her name, Celestia told her. There's a reason why she's been at Sunnytown High since the first day she started teaching. She's almost as bad as the students.
What about Chalkstick? Is it seen, Uncle?
No, she moved last year to take a principal job out in Cloudsdale, Celestia said. Hate to say it, sis, but you might actually have to look at the boards.
Yeah, I was afraid of that,
Luna said. I was hoping to keep it with someone I knew already. But if I have to go to the boards, then I have to go to the boards.
Sis smiled. Could be worse. You could end up with Humble Bumble, my former vice principal, Sid told him.
Well, he looked at her for an explanation as he grinned.
The first year I was teaching over at Crystal Prep, the principal was a guy named Distant Horizon, and Humble Bumble was his prince. Vice was definitely what I used with him. The man was single, but I'd make for any lady that was single or least willing. He would hit on some of the parents hard, and when he was the kind of idiot, wouldn't take no for an answer.
Oh, what happened to him?
Got the girl at the moment pregnant, then tried to act like he was in high school. Not the old, not my kid, you can't prove that kind of bullshit. Unfortunately for him, the woman he got pregnant was the sister of our school's biggest donor, who then threatened to pull the funding unless they canned him. He was down on his ass in a week after. No one else had the expertise. Ryan asked me to take over my faculty chair, so the weighty problem, who was department chair at the time, could fill the vice principal slot. He got me where I am today.
What happened to the Humble Bumble guy?
Last I heard, he's teaching out an Indian reservation in New Mexico. Couldn't keep his pants on and earned himself a reputation that got sent to the middle of nowhere. Well, that's hardly my fault.